You're watching E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to do the Godzilla Q&A. This is the second one, and this is in response to some questions, and actually I'm going to highlight some comments here from the Gamera video that I did on Gamera, and very, very interesting. A lot of people were very, very opinionated about what I had to say about Gamera, and not in a negative way. Nobody was negative. Just, I think some people are just having a hard time accepting the fact that Gamera would not work in an American audience movie. So we're gonna get to some of the comments here, and let's see. We're gonna start off with my friend Jim Kelly. Do you think Monarch will be the main human focus for Godzilla King of Monsters? I hope so. I hope so. You guys know I've been a big advocate of Monarch, and I think Monarch does need to have a bigger role in the next movie. Hey, we could see a lot of Monarch in Kong. We still don't know what we're getting with that, and obviously we know Monarch's involved. But I definitely want to see more Monarch. Give us a main character outside of Serizawa from Monarch, or somebody who works there as a leader, is doing bad stuff, whatever. But yes, definitely more Monarch. They obviously are the key to all these monsters, so I feel if they're the key to all the monsters, they should be the key to the plot at some point or another. So yes, definitely need more Monarch. Okay, so this is a one word question, and I did address it in the comments, but I'm going to say it out loud. So one guy was like, Ultraman? And no. Ultraman, no, not in America. Unfortunately, not in America. It wouldn't work. And if it did, they'd have to do something very different. I mean, think about this, okay? Let's look at some of the Japanese anime that they've tried to convert in America. And not only do people hate it, not only does nobody go to see it, but the producers end up butchering the content and changing it up. So you guys really need to think about what you want to see in America, because there's only so much that would work here. Godzilla works well. He's well known worldwide, all this. Outside of Ultraman fans, nobody here knows anything about Ultraman. And even if they did, they probably wouldn't give a shit. That's just the truth. I'm not being an asshole. I'm being honest. Okay? If you go to this, just walk down the street and ask anybody, hey, do you like Ultraman? And they'll be like, huh? You know what I mean? Unless you get lucky enough to find somebody who actually does. But yeah, Ultraman, I think, is going to be Japanese and Japanese only. So yeah. So in my last video, I said that a moth is a hard sell, or I said a flying moth is a hard sell, which is worded wrong because the moth flies. But anyway, so Buddy Love 39 was like, a flying moth is a hard sell. How? Have you seen Mothra? Okay, now, again, get out of the mindset that everybody's a Kaiju fan, okay? Pretend you know nothing about Godzilla, or very little, and one of your friends is a big Godzilla fan. They drag you to see the new Godzilla movie, and you're sitting there, you're watching it, and Mothra makes their big debut, all right? Now, we're going to assume that Mothra looks fantastic, all right? Legendary did a great job. The design is great. Looks like a moth, but is obviously different features that make it look more monstrous, more grotesque, whatever they do. And your buddy's sitting there like, oh my God, it's Mothra. And you're like, who? And then you realize you're watching a moth. Okay? Now, you're not a Godzilla fan. You're not a Kaiju fan. And you're like, where did they come up with an idea for a moth? Why a moth? Again, you have to get out of the mindset that everybody like you is a Kaiju fan. They're not. To you, it makes no sense that it wouldn't work. To everybody else, they probably will give less than a shit about a moth, especially a monster one. That is the truth. I'm not being a prick. I'm telling you the truth from a general audience standpoint. As a Kaiju fan, it works for me. I watch Mothra all day on screen. I don't give a shit. But from a standpoint of an average audience or a general audience member who knows little to nothing about Godzilla or any of the monsters in Godzilla's universe, it's not going to make sense. You have Godzilla. You have a big giant pterodactyl type monster. That makes sense. Three-headed dragon. Oh my God, it's like a Tiamat. That makes sense. A flying moth? Huh? American cultures have seen dragons, okay? They've seen dinosaurs like pterodactyls where you could kind of relate Rodan to that, even though he's not. There's that relation. Nobody's ever seen a giant moth in America, okay? Nobody. So it's not going to make sense. That's what you got to understand. I'm not saying it won't work for you. I'm not saying it doesn't work for me. It's going to be a hard sell for the general audience, which is the key audience that you want for these movies so you can make money. You guys really, some of you guys are like, this flies over your head. We, me, you, everybody in the comment section, everybody on all these forums and all that are hardcore kaiju fans. It all makes sense to us, no matter what. But that's not who they're targeting. They know we're going to go see it. Whether we love it or not, they know we're going to go see it. They don't give a shit about too much whether or not we like it because they know we're going to go see it regardless. And they know that if they get half of you guys to like it, they've already done their job. The other half can go fuck themselves as far as they're concerned because they're focusing on the general audience. That's the truth. That's business. That's how it is. Does it suck? It only sucks for the 50% that don't like it. For the 50% that do, hey. So that's just how it is, man. Okay, so let's move on. All right, this one's gonna be a short one because, like I said, there wasn't a lot of questions, but there were a lot of comments. And I'm just gonna go to this one because I have a feeling I'm gonna go straight to this one, and then again, if you guys want to we'll do another Q&A for this video. Leave all your questions and comments. So this one comes from Galvatron Neo. This actually. I laughed when I read this. It was funny. So I'm gonna read it, and then Galvatron Neo, I hope I can address your comment in a fashion that you kind of understand where this is going. All right. So Galvatron Neo says, right, people can see a movie of a talking raccoon and a talking free firing guns. People can see a movie of a talking raccoon and firing guns and kicking ass in space. People can see a movie about a guy dressed as a bat, an alien with superpowers that shoots lasers from his eyes and can fly, and an Amazonian semi-goddess fighting a gray Hulk with spikes and can even get the idea of a purple alien looking from cosmic gems to become a god and fuck death, but cannot see a movie of a giant flying fire-breathing turtle. I don't think so. So for those of you who don't know, he's talking about Thanos and Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, Rocket Raccoon, and all that. But Galvatron Neo, what you fail to realize is this. Those are American characters that have been around longer than most people who view this channel have been alive. They've been around since before I've been born. They are already embedded in American culture. Even Guardians of the Galaxy, to a lesser extent, has a very cult following. All right? And if you recall, when Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be released, everyone, all the critics, all the movie experts, everyone was saying it was a big gamble for Marvel because of the very thing that you're saying, which is, people didn't know them, this and that. But people trust the Marvel label, okay? People trust, for whatever reason, the DC label, okay? How many people do you think here in America, outside of Kaiju fans, trust Toho label? How many people do you think, outside of Kaiju fans, trust the production label that make Gamera? Nobody fucking knows them. Let's be real here. Let's be real. Let's say they make a Gamera movie, okay? Not related to Godzilla. They just come out and say, you know what? That Godzilla universe worked out for Legendary. Let's take this flying fucking turtle and make a movie out of him. And you're walking down the street, all right? and they're plastering promotion for Gamera all over the place. Gamera. They're not showing him, but they show little hints. His shell and this and that. Somebody walks by and they see a poster that says Gamera 2021. You know what he's going to say? What the fuck is a Gamera? That's what he's going to say. If you walk by, you'll be like, yeah, Gamera. If I walk by, I'll be like, yeah, Gamera. 70% of the people who are not Kaiju fans will walk by and be like, what the fuck is a Gamera? Or they'll be like, oh, show, it must be a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. Imagine Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is well known in America, very popular amongst many kids and many adults, bombed at the box office, and they got the second movie right more than they did the first movie, and it bombed. Do you really think Gamera has a chance? Come on, let's get real. Let's get real. Look, in a perfect world, I want you guys all to know, in a perfect world, I would love to see Godzilla versus Gamera 2022, and I would love for it to make $1 billion worldwide at the box office, and people will love it, and people walking around saying, oh, Gamera, man, yeah. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's not. It's very tiny chance. And somebody mentioned in the comment too, I want to give credit to this person. Let me scroll down here so I can get their name, because I kind of agree with what they said. Stephen Miller mentioned that Gamera would only ever have a chance of succeeding if Disney did it. And I agree with that. I think if he said that in a nutshell, because I'm not reading the whole thing here. He said he feels that if Disney had control of Gamera, and if they played to the child arc that Gamera is known for his older movies, and then Gamera the Brave in the early 2000s, then he thinks it has a shot. It has a shot. Doesn't mean it's going to work. It has a shot. And I agree with that. I think that's the best shot it has. Outside of that, nobody's going to give a shit about a flying turtle. Nobody. The reason Rocket Raccoon worked is because he's under the Marvel label. Right now, look, Marvel can do no wrong. Marvel can shit on a plate, film it for 2 hours with special effects, and call it anything they want, and it's going to make $100 billion worldwide. I mean, that's just where they are right now. They can't fail right now. What the challenge for them is going to be when all these other characters start to flow out, like Iron Man and all that. Can they keep it going without Iron Man and Captain America and all that? But as of right now, they're hitting home runs left and right. So people see Marvel and they're like, oh, I got to go. Who the fuck is going to, whoever would do a Gamera movie, who's going to be like, and it's not that I don't like that. And I know some of you guys get pissed off when I do this. I know it. And I can't help myself. I'm being honest with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to be like, yeah, you're right. If they can see a raccoon, why can't they see a fucking flying turtle? Because he's under the Marvel label. And guess what? He's done by Disney. He's done by Disney. Nobody does talking animals like Disney. So, try to make sense of it all. Put yourself outside of the kaiju element. You guys have to put yourself outside of the kaiju element, and I guarantee you will be able to answer your own questions. Instead of saying, yeah, I think Gamera could work, you should be saying, would the general audience like Gamera? I know I do. I already know that. I already know I'd see Gamera anywhere, or whatever, or Godzilla, whoever. But would the general audience like it? And if you're going to say yes, why? Why would they like it? I already know, you know what I mean, more or less, just from seeing general public reactions to certain things. Yes, they love a talking raccoon. A flying turtle with jet streams coming out of his ass and his arms, it's not going to work. It's not. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. You can follow E.T.N on Facebook, Twitch or Twitter, or join the Nation Facebook page. Don't forget to click that subscribe button on your way out.